Al Capone had like syphilis brain.
I don't want to talk about Al Capone. That guy, that movie freaked me out. I don't
I
want
didn't
to
see the
the
movie.
Tom Hardy one.
I didn't see it.
I don't want to.
Is that him with his syphilis brain?
He's just the whole movie. He's just dead. Not dead, but like his
Losing
life's
mind and
over.
dying. Yeah. Well, you know about the syphilis brain, right?
Yeah, I understand syphilis brain, but like Al Capone, obviously killer, ignorant, whatever, but also pretty badass dude. Can we watch that movie? I'll watch that movie and like, well, that's been made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
for
it again.
a reason. Do it
Yeah,
again. I don't need
right.
to see syphilis brain Al Capone.
Right.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
Put him in prison. I'd rather see the movie of him in prison.
That's true. Alcatraz,
Yeah.
Al Capone. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, that's like seeing just like the Michael Jordan documentary about him like smoking a cigar and being like, I'm the best.
Or like him losing all his money gambling.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, right.
I don't need to. Oh, is that a framed Bobcat jersey in the back? Why?
Lift off. The clock has started.
Hey, Hesbos, welcome to Hesby Street.
We're back, baby.
Did you miss us? Did you miss us?
Did you? You have to tell us.
Well, if you really missed us, you just go to patreon.com/Hesby Street and catch up on all the weekly episodes that we post there well, I guess you know what weekly means.
Yeah, so we're not going to be doing this every week anymore. The free stuff. We just don't have the time, guys. We love you. We'd love to.
I do enough charity in my life.
Yeah.
And free Hesby it's important to me, but other stuff is
Other stuff's more important. So head on over there if you. That will be every Friday.
Yeah. And then if you want to see us in person, come to the Hollywood Improv on February 16th at 9:45 p.m.
Last one sold out, dude. This thing is it's a moving.
Yeah, and we got some hot competitors. It's such a fun show. It truly is such. I have so much fun doing that show.
It's really fun.
Yeah. So we might be onto something, and you could say you were in there more than the early side of things. We riff up top. It's like the podcast.
It's like the podcast.
I'm here for the riffs. You know me. I'm here for the riffs.
Riff City.
So let's play the song and get to fucking riffing.
No, I have 9 more announcements.
Oh, what up? What up?
Let's see. I didn't think you were gonna ask me to put me on the spot like that.
Oh, you thought they just cut you off?
I thought. Okay.
I can do that for you.
HesbyStreetPod.com's updated.
Nice. That's one.
That's what. So 8 more announcements.
8 to go.
Okay, here we go. 2 through 7 are all the same.
Oh, okay. I guess you can do that.
Yeah, 2 through 7, they're all the same. Be sure to rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, that kind of stuff.
Why do we split it up? 2, rate the podcast on Apple. 3, review the podcast on Apple. 4, rate the podcast on Spotify. 5, review the podcast on Spotify.
That's also 6 and 7.
Yeah, and 6 and 7 would be log on to Spotify.
And number 8 is just be you.
Yeah.
Can you just start being you again?
Yeah.
We miss the old you.
It's 2024, you guys. This is your year.
Yeah.
And we're just along for the ride. Now I'm going to play a song.
Okay. Man.
Feels
That
good
was
to be back.
seamless. I got through that.
I feel like we're finally hitting our groove. Episode 2084 is when we really kind of...
Yeah, we just needed this. This is our 4th year of doing this. So it's like, if you do it like this, it's even more. So you got 2020, that's 1. 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. It's the 5th year we've been inside of.
I'm worried. And
doing
also, I'm
this
looking at
podcast.
your beard and my beard. Like, we're graying.
We're graying.
I don't want to be in life where kids are sitting in a living room and they're like, my grandpa has to go back and podcast with his friends. And we're just in the back. I'm like, please let me into your office, sir. They're like, he does accents. It's a weird thing.
We have to go outside into this nuclear holocaust while they podcast.
Does anyone listen? No, a lot of them are dead, but
Yeah.
no.
Grandpa, the internet hasn't existed in 23 years.
It's just like one of those post-apocalyptic thing where they send out a distress call.
We're just holding cans attached by a string.
Yeah, man, this is dumb. What is new in our worlds?
You just auditioned for Netflix last night.
I showcased for
You
Netflix
did so
as a
good. You were
joke.
so funny.
Thanks, Torio. That means a lot. It was the most nerve-wracking I think I've ever felt. Like the most nervous I've ever felt before a show by far. And I
Really?
could not shake it.
Oh,
And-
really?
And Bruce Gray, God bless them, and Kelly Ryan gave me such a needed pep talk.
What was the pep talk? Because I'm doing this tomorrow.
You know, I hope Bruce is there because I won't do it justice.
I paid Bruce $5 to come back.
It's worth it.
Not to like
You fleeced him. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because that pep talk is worth like
it's
some
not for the
Goldman
pep talk.
Sachs money.
No, I don't want to underplay how good your guys' set were, but for you and Ramsey, he stood in the back, laughed, and he did like this like whistle that's like not obnoxious. It just was like it was just this subtle whistle that would get people started. He would like start applause breaks.
A
it
craftsman.
was like, yes,
A craftsman.
I was back there laughing. I don't laugh at comedy anymore,
Yes.
so I was fake laughing. It felt so disingenuous. But it worked. It all worked.
He told me, he was like, at a certain point, I look at Torio, who's like just kind of watching the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like nudging him, like, dude,
Yeah, and I'm like,
come up. I don't like that stuff. But
It helped.
I appreciate it. Yes, I definitely, in that context, I really appreciated it. But like at first, I thought Ramsey gave me some bad intel and told me that there were like 4 tickets sold. I was like, 3 days ago there were like 8. Did 4 people just decide on?
Right.
So I was thinking, there's no one's going to be up there. I don't even want to go to the early show because I hear the crowd is packed to the gills.
Yeah.
I don't want to go up and be first on the late show, perform for 4 people as they trickle in.
Right.
And then I see Anthony. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, I don't want to. I'm going to perform for no one and a camera and Netflix people. And then he goes, "What I would tell you to do: go to the patio, get all your people, tell them come." And I'm like, "No offense, dude, that would be even worse for me."
that would be worse.
And he was like, "All right, well then I'll let you do what you do," you know. And I was like, "I appreciate it, and I don't want. I'm not trying to be negative. I would dread that, having my friends just being like, oh, "We love you, man."
Yeah.
I'd do bad. I didn't feel like I did very well.
Oh,
Like for my like comfort, you know, that like little bit of you that wants to just be there and present.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like stand up.
no, it's not. It's not stand up.
Right? Like it's just
It's a weird performance that you're doing for these suits.
yeah. It feels like the end of Taken where they're on that like yacht with all the like prostitutes and that's when he saves his daughter from like human trafficking.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm one person that just stepped in the spotlight and like did a little shimmy and then I like go back to whatever
Yeah.
they live in.
Yeah,
It feels like I'm being human trafficked
a little bit.
for like Saudis.
Yeah, and they're all, but it's like it's weird because like all of the executives, they kind of show up and they're like just they act like they're one of the guys. I'm like,
Yeah.
can you not?
Yeah.
Can you just sit down and like?
I don't know. I feel like you make them comfortable, and then in situations where you're not, they make you comfortable.
Yes.
It's a quid.
I would
pro
never
quo.
say that to their face, but I'm just like, can you not talk to us before?
That doesn't. It's weird when like we're all set off by different things, especially in those nervous situations. And there were a couple that set me off. One was Luke Moniz, who did a great job hosting and was like really supportive. He was like, "Dude, it's not a type 5. Like, I'm not telling you to run the light, but he's like, I did 7 and no one noticed. Like, just do well."
Yeah.
And so he is about to like get me on stage. I'm first, and then he goes like, "Guys, we really need your energy. This is an audition for Netflix." And I'm like, "No!" And comedy for me works. And I think it's the same way with a lot of people performing.
Yeah.
You need a chip on your shoulder. Like if you were the warm up to the thing, you're like, "Fuck these people. I'll show them how it's done." But
Right.
when you're the thing, you're like, "Okay, this is it." You
Yeah.
know, and I can't switch that mindset. So right when he said it and I'm about to go up, I'm like, I'm just opening up for these fucking shitheads.
Yeah.
You know, like I had to
Yeah.
trick myself into like Michael Jordan kind of
You
like
seemed very chilled
taking
before
it
you went
personal.
up.
I was rattling. And
Yeah.
I would like sip my drink and be like, no more drink. I'd chug a bottle of water. I'm like, no, I have too much water. I'm going to have to pee.
I don't think I mean, I'm always nervous before a set, but I'm not like, I don't think I'm sure I'll be maybe a little more nervous,
Yeah.
but I've really talked myself out of these stakes being that high. I don't
Same.
think I'm going to get it.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like one of the things Bruce said was, sorry to cut you off, but one of the things Bruce said was, he's like, I've seen these before. People crush and don't get picked.
Yeah.
People bomb and do get picked because they have the right famous person backing.
Yeah,
them.
I think it for me, it's like, I'm going to do I'm going to do Affogato.
Do your thing.
And I'm just setting myself up for the next one.
Yeah.
In my head, because it's like no one gets it on their first one.
Yeah.
And then when I do the next one, it's like, okay, now I can't do Affogato. I get to like do newer stuff,
Yes.
do whatever.
Yes.
And I'll just...
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and like, I probably will have a good set.
Yeah.
I don't think, I'm not saying I'll crush.
No, yeah. I know
But
what
I
you
know
mean.
that joke will hit in the parts where it's supposed to hit, and then I'll just leave, and then I'll hate myself for the next year, and then hopefully it leads to something eventually.
Yeah. And that was another thing he said was like, how lucky are you? How lucky are we
Yeah.
that we get to perform at that club all the time? And that's where the showcase is.
Right.
Because Bruce, I think he said he turned his down at the store because he got tickets to see some like concert, and then he had to go do it at UCB Franklin instead.
Oh, no.
And he was just like, the store is where you'd want, like, you're in
It's a home
great
field
situation.
advantage for sure, because it is a tough room. That room's really tough.
And everyone
And
on that show's nervous.
I watched the two people that went up after you and Ramsey, and they did not do well.
Oh, okay.
They didn't do terrible, but it was night and day. And they're good comics.
I couldn't watch anymore. Like I was so like,
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's over. And
Yeah.
all day I
I
was your mindset. I was like, this doesn't matter.
When you
and
and
then it got closer
Ramsey,
and closer.
when you and Ramsey both crushed, I was like, damn, I wish I was done.
I know being
Yeah.
done is kind of the nice part.
Because it's not that, like I said, I mean, we love doing stand up, but you don't love doing an audition show.
yeah, and I just couldn't feel like myself, and to get off stage and have people be like,
I guess we should explain what it is. We're auditioning for Netflix as a joke,
Which is a big comedy festival in LA.
and then they put you on their platform.
yeah, and it's a lot of gatekeepers involved. Like people who
And they're auditioning over 100
so,
comics.
so many.
For probably, 10 spots?
Yeah, there are too many comedians in
Yeah.
this world.
And they'll pick one white guy. They'll pick one straight white guy.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably in that category if I didn't talk about being Moroccan.
Yeah. And Ramsey won't get it because his set, as funny as it was
Palestine,
and
Israel.
Israel. And
You can't.
even though we're on his side, they're not. No way.
Yeah, right.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I thought
it
that-
would crush. I mean, it did crush.
Of course it would crush. It would crush with night, but it's like,
It's so funny.
what a dumb choice he made. As
I don't
much as
think-
he was crushing.
I don't think it's dumb. I think you got to stand on business, dude. You got to just show them what you're about.
I mean, I would have done the same thing,
Yeah.
but I hope he gets it. Of course, he
Yeah.
deserves it. He's very funny,
Yeah.
but who
I
owns-
hear you.
Yeah, right now.
We're a boring podcast right now, dude. We're just industry chatter. And here's the next step about becoming a comedian. Because all of you can become one.
It's
10
really
easy
easy.
steps.
It's the easiest thing.
It's
All you
8
got to
steps.
do is just suffer for most of your 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
If you're not in your 20s, if you're older than that, then that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not fine.
It's never too late. I always
is
tell
too
people
late
that.
sometimes.
No.
It's too late.
It's always too late, is what I say, actually.
It's not that it's never too late. It's
always
too late.
Dude, that's a good self-help book title. It's always too late.
Yeah.
You know?
Kill yourself.
Yeah,
It's a really
one
short
page.
book.
There, another part of life when you get like those like opportunities that don't matter but are coveted is people get weird because they feel like they weren't invited to the party, so they're there in their heads, and I feel that energy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get away, like get out of my.
It's tough.
I said a joke to Hugo before he went up, and he was like, And I was like, fuck you. And then I said it to you, and you're like, ha ha. And I'm like, my man T got me in my mood again.
It was Joe Marisi was like, when are you doing yours? And like, I thought that meant he had his.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm doing mine Wednesday night. And he goes, oh, you're doing it? And I was like, I guess he didn't know they were Wednesday night,
Yeah.
so he didn't. And I was like, yeah, when's yours? And he goes, oh, mine? Joe Marisi's have we talked about him on the pod?
We have, but I don't know if we talk about him enough.
And he was just like, oh, I'm doing mine next year.
Shout out Joe. Check
Yeah.
out the Joe code to just
it's
understand
so
how
funny.
accurate Torio's impression is.
People have been calling me Joe at the store because we're both bald.
Yeah.
We really don't look that similar at all, but we're both white guys that are bald. And people, Joe, I can't do the impression of Joe real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not right.
Yeah.
And so people will be like, hey, Joe, how's it going? I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm fucking good or whatever.
And the people don't bat an eye.
Yeah.
They're like, cool.
Yeah.
That's Joe. That's the Joe I know.
It's wild. And he has like hot chicks coming to the club, like begging to talk to him for a
He's got
sec.
real fans.
It's wild. And he's just like, yeah. All right. Are they still here? Yeah, I'll come over.
Meet me at the Naughty Pig. I'm going to get a sandwich and sing some karaoke.
Hey, Zach, you want to come to Barney's and hang out with some 22-year-olds? Like, no, man.
Like, all right, well, that's where I'll be.
All right, well, he goes, well, then what are you doing that's so fun then?
Going home to your wife?
Yeah.
Fucking dumb.
Come out. He'll do this thing where, like, back when Jones was open, I'd be at home. He'd go, hey, I'm going to Jones. And I'm like, nice, man. Have fun. I'm probably just going to stay in.
Yeah.
And then he said, cool. I'm going to Jones. He would always. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I'm like, all right. I'm yeah, man. It's a wild world out there, you guys.
I think it's good that we're weaning off the podcast every week.
Uh-huh.
And also we're kind of letting them down easy.
Right.
They're not going to miss this.
Guys, come on. How great was it?
Yeah.
How
right?
great could it possibly
Remember
have been?
all those amazing... Remember Wubsy?
Yeah.
Oh,
we were
Wubsy.
young.
We were young.
Maybe had one gray hair.
Yeah.
Between the two of us.
Yeah, now we're all gray hair. Man, what a era of our lives.
I know.
Hesby Street will be. Not that it's ending.
No,
But-
it's ending. Did you do you feel like your best years were taken by the pandemic?
No.
Yeah, I feel like we narrowly dodged that one.
Here's the thing about my best years.
They're like 5 years behind us.
No,
not
they're
3.
like my best years are going to be when I'm 70, and I can finally the way that I think and act fit my age.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I just want to sit here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. You're 70 in spirit.
If I die young, know that I truly
Lived a full life.
no. I had the best years of mine just taken away from me. I never got to be the crotchety old man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like you're doing it now, and you're tempting fate. God's like, all right, he's on the final
I guess
chapter.
he's done.
There's I saw a thing that said like this person's the first person to do this statistic since 1950, and my brain immediately went, wow, 50 years. That's a long time. And then they went nearly 3/4 of a century, and I'm like, oh no. Looking at my hands.
Well, Nate Bargatze was at the store talking about like the 1900s.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn,
he's
that
so
was
funny.
And it's like, that's the other thing at the store checking IDs.
Yeah.
And it's like now someone born in 03
Yeah.
could get into the store
I
legally.
know,
And you're
dude.
like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've turned people away. They're like, no, I'm
refuse.
22. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You got to leave.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't legally do that. And I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
You have to leave.
Call the cops,
Yeah.
dude.
It's discrimination. And I'm like, I don't. Some people, when I check ID, I'll just be like, hey, I'm going to check everyone's ID. And
Yeah.
like, so the older people will take their IDs out and then I'll check it. And then they'll be like, why did you have to check mine? And I'm like, you took it out.
Yeah.
You took it out, so I checked it to be nice.
Yeah.
And now you're making it weird.
Yeah.
Don't take it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
What do you want me to do? Not look, be like, nope, you're too old, you fat fuck.
Yeah.
Keep walking.
Right.
You took the ID out.
That's a really good point, is like when they're like, why didn't you ask for mine?
Or that one, yeah. And I'm like, because you're old.
Yeah, man. Don't make me say it.
Yeah.
You don't want the answer to that question. You're old as fuck, dude.
And a lot of times I'll just pass them and I'll ask the people behind them for their ID. Well, you didn't ask for ours. And I'm like, sure didn't.
Yeah.
Sure didn't.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Right. Can I see your death certificate, you old fuck?
Why are you even out? The sun's down.
Hey, just so you know, we don't have soup. It's just pretzels and
Breakfast
pizza.
is like 3 hours away for you.
We'll seat you towards the back so you can get up and pee all the time.
But then somehow way super slowly. I don't get how it works.
Yeah, dude, I think I've talked about this on the pod before, but
Yeah.
I was at the urinal next to an
Oh,
old man
no.
when I was a kid, and the
it's
sounds
sad.
he made bombed me out
It's so
forever.
sad.
I'll never forget just a guy like, oh, come on. Ah, Jesus. I'm like, are you not pushing? Like,
Yeah.
what is the sensation?
I don't want to
Is
know.
it pain?
We're not that far from it.
I know.
You know?
You know, Al Capone had like syphilis brain.
I don't want to talk about Al Capone. That guy, that movie freaked me out. I don't
Oh,
want
I
to
didn't see the
Tom
movie.
Hardy one.
I didn't see it.
Ugh, I don't want to.
Is that him with his syphilis brain?
He's just the whole movie. He's just dead. Not dead, but like
Losing
his life's
mind and
over.
dying. Yeah. Well, you know about the syphilis brain, right?
Yeah, I understand syphilis brain, but like Al Capone, obviously killer, ignorant, whatever, but also pretty badass dude. Can we watch that movie? I'll watch that movie and they're like, well, that's been made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
for
it again.
a reason. Do it
Yeah,
again. I don't need
right.
to see syphilis brain Al Capone.
Right.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
Put him in prison. I'd rather see the movie of him in prison.
That's true. Alcatraz,
Yeah.
Al Capone. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, that's like seeing just like the Michael Jordan documentary about him like smoking a cigar and being like, I'm the best.
Just or like him losing all his money gambling. No thanks.
Yeah, right.
I don't need to. Oh, is that a framed Bobcat jersey in the back? Why?
Yeah, man. That's so good. That's a clip right there. We got our clip, man. I
so
think
we're
we can
done.
go home. I think we can pack it up. How's your love life? We haven't talked in a long time. I want to know everything.
My love life is bad.
Why?
I don't think I'm. I don't think I'm capable of falling in love.
Because why?
Here's the thing. I fell in love right before I started comedy. Right? She broke up with me. I started comedy. I don't feel like she's the one that got away. I think it was the right decision. We didn't even date for that long.
Yeah.
And then and I always thought eventually I'd feel that way again.
Yeah.
You know? And now it's been 12 years or whatever. I don't think it's coming. You know how dudes, it always felt to me like dudes just trying to bang where they're like, I can't get close to someone. I don't want to get hurt again. I don't know if that's what it is.
Right.
But I don't feel any way about any woman lately.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
And that feels wrong to you. Like you feel guilty because of
I
it.
feel very guilty.
Yeah.
Well, it's not guilty. It feels like a bummer. You know, I want to be like, I see married couples and like people holding hands. I'm like, I would love to want that.
Yeah. You know, but I also
don't want it.
I also like despise the people that like they look at it like where they have this empty box that needs a check. And so you're just here.
Yeah.
And you are that now for me.
Right.
I hate that.
Yeah.
It's like very much like New York dating.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the trope of like, so what do you do? And when do you want kids? And like, you know, and then it's just like tick, 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 tick. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I love you.
Right.
You know, like, ugh.
And what's your savings account? That matches up with my savings
Okay.
account, your credit score, so we could do that. But your parents are rich, so that helps me.
Right. And
Yeah.
you're okay with raising the baby this religion or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's such a business decision for so many
Right.
people where I'm like, dude,
I don't know.
enjoy life with the person. Like, don't feel like you need to do that is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I just feel like I can't. I go down two different roads. Either one where I'm like, oh, I got to go out with people longer and see if I start to develop feelings.
Right.
Because maybe I'm not giving things a chance.
That could be.
And then I do that, and then I feel guilty because it's like I never liked you.
So funny.
You know what I mean?
You're just stewing on the other side of this romantic dinner
Yeah,
table.
I'm just
You're
like
date
I'm
12.
I'm trying to love you. Sorry, when I say like you, obviously I like them as people and as friends.
Yes, I know what you
But
mean.
it's just like I can't develop that romantic feeling. Or I cut it off like date 1 and 2. And then I'm like, I never even gave them a chance.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think I did. You can know a lot after date 1 or 2.
And it's okay to not want to.
And then when you cut it off, there's this weird thing in your mind after a little time passes where you're like, I miss him a little bit. And then you have
Interesting.
one, and then but then you're the dude that's texting.
Right. And now you're
like-
playing with someone's emotions.
Exactly. And they're like, well, maybe he is interested.
Yeah.
So then you go out again, or you don't, or you just start texting again. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot I don't feel this way about this person.
Yeah.
And then you're considered like a douche or a fuckboy or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Even if you're not. People think like I've been labeled fuckboy.
Yeah.
By people.
Yeah.
Like people, and I'm like, but we didn't even have sex, and they're like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does that not matter?
Yeah. They're like, you pig.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I bought you lunch and dinner twice and then we didn't
have
hang out
sex.
again.
Yeah. And they're like, doesn't matter, because you could have had sex with me and you chose not to. And I'm like, I don't understand how any of this works. And now,
That's so funny. Just meeting up with them is fucking.
sometimes they're like, it's emotional. I would have. Yeah.
You took my purity, and you're like, we got hot dogs.
which gave me heartburn. I hate hot dogs. I did that for you.
I think we got cancer together. I don't know if anything was...
She's like, I made eye contact. You all ate the hot dog. That's sex. And I'm like, I don't. Okay, kind of. It was weird and kind of hot, but no.
Does a date ever go perfectly? Where like nice dinner, fun drinks, go home, have sex.
Oh.
And then it's like, see you next.
Maybe
like this was fun. Let's
feel
do
like
it again.
Those things have happened, but I've never. It's been so long since I've been like, yep, that felt great.
Well, I feel like you don't want to feel just like love. Like that's crazy. That's crazy to like meet up with someone, do that, and being like, do I love them or not?
It's not about the love thing. It's about for me, it's like I want to do that again as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't have.
Yeah. Right.
For me, it's always like...
As soon as possible, you can omit. I want to do that again.
Right. I'm not saying like tonight.
Yeah,
but I would say yes to tonight. You know what I mean?
I look forward to it.
If they were like, I know this is weird, but do you want to do that again tonight? Yeah. Like I miss that feeling.
Right. Yeah. Like let's do something again.
I hate like when I'm out on dates and then they'll go to the bathroom, or whatever happens. I have an opportunity to look at my phone, and it'll be like someone, like a comic, being like, "You want to get coffee, or you want to hang out, or you'll hit me up, or we're going to the store." And my first thought is like, God, I wish
I'm missing out.
I'm missing out,
dude. Fuck that.
What do you mean, fuck that?
You're not.
No, I want to. No. What I'm saying is, it's not FOMO. It's I would rather be with my friends than this person right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, dude, I don't know. I feel like I have that sometimes when I'm married. I'm like with my in-laws across LA.
Yeah, but it shouldn't happen on a first or second. It shouldn't happen in a new relationship. You should want to be with that person. At least in the beginning.
I disagree, man. Then
what is love? Then I don't get it.
It's just
okay, hold on. Before you get into it.
I'm very lucky.
When you started dating Elizabeth early on.
Yeah.
Obviously there's times when you want to be with the boys or whatever, but I'm saying like first 10 dates. When you were out on the date with her, did you ever find yourself thinking, man, I'd rather be at Punchline right now, or I'd rather be at this open mic, or I'd rather just be with Joe Gorman writing jokes, drinking coffee, or whatever, drinking beer? I guess it was beer back then.
I don't think until this point in my life, and I've talked to someone about it, I don't think I had like that crew of people that I just like want to be with.
Right.
Since like maybe high school.
Okay.
And maybe a little after high school.
But the bigger point I'm trying to make is when I'm out on these dates, I don't want to be there typically. Right. It's like
you'd rather be doing anything else.
Not anything else. I'm not saying I hate being there.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of times before the date, I'm like, I wish I wasn't going.
Yeah. Right.
I get there, I'm like, 2 hours is probably enough.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I just hate that feeling.
That was me going to comedy.
Right.
Where I'm like, I'm going to punch. I'm like, dude, no one fucking cares.
Okay, so maybe that's not a good example, but I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I get what you mean, but I don't think you need to give that too much.
I just want to be excited about
weight.
A person.
Yeah,
and that's just not happening.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And it's not anything they're doing. I mean, it's
chemistry.
Yeah,
chemistry is. I never took it.
Me either, actually.
So we don't know much about it.
I don't know chemistry. We've talked about this before too. Like in high school, we all took biology. You had to take biology, and then we had a choice between chemistry and physics, and so I picked physics.
I don't think I did either, but I think I might have just been too dumb. They're like, let's just stick with general sciences for old Zack.
Yeah, and then in college I avoided it too because everyone said how hard it was. So I just did biology. Well, I don't know how much science you had to do.
I was bad at science.
I don't know the basic idea of chemistry.
Yeah. I got biology pretty on
and
lock.
That's why, ladies. This isn't my fault.
Yeah.
It was my high school guidance counselor
guidance counselor
that helped me pick my schedule.
Yeah. And they fucked up big time.
And that's why I never called back.
Right. And that's why he loves basketball.
Because he was in PE. We're making it sound like I'm just turning down women left and right, and that's not the case.
All right, we'll play that angle if you want.
Okay, thank you.
We can spin it.
Thanks.
We could do a little spin zone.
And if I've gone out with you recently and you're still listening to the pod, I'm not talking about you.
Things
I'm
are
talking about
crazy right now.
everyone else. I'm very excited about you specifically.
Dude, that's. I mean, you're lucky to be a male comic in the sense that, because you ever hear female comics talk about like guy fans? They're like They're like, you fuckers. Like, you guys get the cool shit where it's like,
Yeah.
someone's like, you are so funny up there. Like, I want to have sex with you. And female comics are like, dude, you're really funny. I'm going to do all the talking, though, now. You know, like, guys just like, we suck, dude. We're not the fan you want.
Let me tell you about my jokes and why they're better than yours.
Yeah, right.
Even though I've never done comedy.
Dude. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I there was something we were saying right before that about, classes we didn't take. Oh, shit. Okay. Banger time.
Banger time.
We didn't take chemistry.
We didn't take chemistry.
But we also didn't take. I didn't take.
I never took any music, choir, band. Never did any of that.
I wish I did band.
Yeah.
I took statistics when I was in college, and dude, I was just straight up like, kind of guessing. Like, I don't get I don't know how I passed that class,
Dude, I
was like plugging stuff in and being like, how do we feel about this being where we're at?
Yeah.
And they're like, that's it. You get it. I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's just, it's you pointing at a map and being like, it's kind of here a lot. And they're like, it is. I'm like, and that's my conclusion. I'll sit back in my seat.
I remember, that's really funny. I remember freshman year I took math and politics because you had to take a math class.
Math in politics?
Math and.
As one class.
Yep, it was called math and politics. So I was like, great, like, because I knew I wasn't an English major yet, but I was like, maybe I'll go poli-sci. English was an idea, writing something, not math. Even though I was like, but I was always really good at math.
Yeah.
And so I took this class, and didn't have a lot of freshmen, and like I thought the dude we'd be reading the newspaper talking about how math, economies and stuff.
Right.
It was straight up game theory. It was like hard.
Wait, what is game theory?
It's like Prisoner's Dilemma and but like the math behind it, and we learned like it was just like, I don't even remember, but it was really hard. So like it was the hardest, and I'm a freshman, right? It's my first semester, and I'm
just picturing, because you were tiny as a freshman too, so just picturing you with like giant books, like
it's like Life is Beautiful. You're like looking up at the sky, like. But I think part of it was I worked really hard because it was my first semester of college, and I was pretty good at math. Like, I was the only one like getting an A.
Wow.
So then this there were older people in this class. This 21-year-old girl was like, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "Sure,"
Yeah.
And so I went over to her house. She was very pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm 17 still. And I'm like at an apartment. And it's it's the craziest thing. So
I wish I had a picture of that moment.
The best part was it was like, so we're doing I went over there a few times, and like in retrospect, I think we could have hooked up. There was chemistry, if you will.
Ooh.
But so I'm 17. I don't know that yet. I'm a virgin.
Yeah, right.
You know, I have not had sex yet. I think at one point when there was we, at this point we have phone numbers and stuff. And I think all I got out of it was I asked her, I was like, "Can you buy me beer?" She bought me beer. I think I could have made out with this girl.
That's like a movie.
Yeah, because I just didn't know what was what.
Yeah.
And she was very she genuinely needed my help.
Right.
Because this was hard.
Right.
And I think I did help her. And then she got me beer once, and then I don't think we ever talked again. I followed her on Facebook for a while. She got married, and then,
dude, that's so... Just picturing you, showing up, all right, I got to go to this thing. And it's just this, beautiful, 23 or 21-year-old, and you're, 17. You probably got a Tamagotchi hanging off your backpack.
Yeah. Well,
It's just, your backpack's the size of you.
Yeah. Yep, that was it. That was college.
Man, that's so cool.
I have a few of those stories. Freshman year of college, because I went from having no friends and no women in my life, to like just
kind of being the man.
Not even kind of being the man, just like being a normal person and like I went out. Like me and this girl went. Like she had a car, I didn't have a car.
Yeah,
and she like was interested in me, but I didn't learn this till later.
You couldn't pick up on those.
So she took me out.
Right.
Like, I think she bought us food.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
You're like, this is cool. She's just like, and you're like,
see you later.
Right.
I got to go to the rec center to play football or some shit.
You're like, dude, this chick likes to eat all the time. She's like always hitting me up to eat.
Yeah. But she never eats the food, and then I get that to go order.
And I think she's forgetting to like split the bill or like ask for money from me. She's just lonely, man. I feel bad for her. She's like ready to have you. And she's like, you want to take this back to my place? She's like, you got ice cream there?
Nintendo?
She's like,
yeah, my
I'm
roommate
going to marry this idiot, aren't I?